messing with my mom. I was like, Mom, I gotta go.
You got a show, man.
Great, you got my text.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were here or not, so I was just like, let me give him information.
Appreciate it.
Yo, did you hear what they're doing, bro?
Hold on 1 second.
They're firing people for not looking at the bags.
I saw that.
All right, good people. We are online. We on the air. Good to see you guys.
Thank you.
So, you're listening to WOOM 92.9, South Philadelphia Community Radio, giving you another live edition of the 623 Lives Matter show. I guess I'm the co-host with my other co-host,
James Romeo here. How you doing?
All right, so the ballots are out. Everybody knows that. So
Special guest in the house, James Hughes.
What's up, James? So tell
up,
everybody
people?
know what's going on with you, man.
What's going on? James Hughes, like they said. Majority of people call me Jim Hughes. I ran into a couple drivers, and they're like, "Oh, you're on the ballot? Oh, you're James Hughes?" And I'm like, "I thought your name was Jim."
Yeah.
Right? I was like, "Yeah, James, Jim, Jimmy." I mean, you know,
Sure did.
Right.
I've been cold worse.
So, yeah, I think we all have.
Yeah, what's going on? Been an employee since 2001. After 12 years, finally went full time. You know, it's ridiculous.
15 for me.
It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen,
Right.
especially with all the hours that are available, all
Right.
the supervisors working.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
Last
getting worse.
5 years, I've been up in the feeder department.
Right.
And unfortunately, I miss you guys, man. You know, I'm up there all by myself, out there on the road. You know, I don't get to see you guys as much as I used to. So,
Eric said, "What's up, Jimmy Bobo?"
what's up, Eric?
Hey, listen, no, I hope you guys have got your ballot. If you haven't gotten it by now, today you start calling back.
It was yesterday.
Or yesterday.
Now you hear this?
What's that?
People that have not gotten their ballot have been calling the hall for multiple days now and not getting an answer. They're still not answering the phone multiple times, different durations during the day.
Right.
Markel,
Right.
he came to me last night, went to Bagby as well. He was saying, I didn't get my ballot. James Hughes didn't get his ballot, but he called and got through.
Somehow I got
So
lucky. I called.
when you
talked
called
to
and got through,
Trish.
yeah.
I
Well,
talked to
what's
Trish
the
yesterday.
process that everybody has to go through once they call?
It's very simple, man. It's so easy to do. Just all they ask for is your name, your address, your phone number, and the last four of your social security number.
Okay.
All right.
And that's it. And then I said, listen, because we ran out of time now. It's crunch
Yeah,
time.
this is it. This is it.
And
So-
we only have a limited amount. I mean, if
Right.
you don't get your ballot between like the next 4 or 5 days, it's not going to get there in time. But I was told if you take the your ballot once you're voted and put it in an envelope and take it directly to that particular post office.
Because it's right across the street. Not across the street, but right around the corner.
Right
from
around the
Rite Aid.
corner. So, say for example, you get it Saturday. I think what's that, the 2nd of November,
Right.
And you voted. You're not going to have time to put it in the mailbox,
Right.
So it's right around the corner, or what you said, right across the street
Right.
from the hall.
But the Union Hall, then there's the Rite Aid at the top of the block. But then right next to the Rite Aid is the post office that the Union Hall gets their mail.
right,
at.
Yeah.
literally
Right.
right at the
Right
corner.
there.
So
Right
what
at
you
the
got to
corner.
do is you got to bring it to that post office, and they have to check it in and stamp it and all that stuff. Because if it's not checked in by the post office, not going to count. You can't go to the hall and receive a ballot. You can't give the ballot to them because it didn't go through the mail process. So that's very important. Don't think that, hey, I got it last minute and throw it out. No, there's still a way.
Yeah.
Call us, let us know what's going on. My wife says she can't vote.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
So Jimmy, well, both of y'all are Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah.
So,
Oh, you
so
know,
I said Hughes.
I'm Romeo, so
Right. I said Hughes.
we all have alter
So
egos.
what you hearing out in the feeders?
I mean, it's the same thing. It's experience. But what has that shown us so far? I mean,
Right.
there's experiences is not. It's not getting us good contracts.
It should
it's
have
not-
if they preached it last time they ran. Experience was the reason
Right.
they quote unquote won, because you got to understand that fight. There's a contract negotiation. We've been negotiating contract for years, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you had an opportunity these 3 years to make that point valid. And these people in the room right now, I'll start with Euchre.
Right.
Did they do that?
No.
Did they do that, Jimmy?
No.
I say they didn't either. So you got 3 people right here. And that's not just the reason why we're running.
I'm sorry, I should correct. They did do, they made 2 changes to our supplement.
Oh,
right?
yeah?
Concessionary changes to our supplement. Right.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh, yeah, they added more concessions.
Right, there's no gains. And,
No gains.
And if
None whatsoever.
Speaking about experience, now 3 years ago, they ran off that same platform experience. And still people voted, and the majority voted against their leadership. There were more people that cast their votes against unity than for them.
Yeah.
And so this time I think it's going to be a whole lot more. I just hope people put it on paper.
That's all. I mean, the outpour, though, has been amazing.
It's been a lot different
Messages,
than 2016. I agree.
Text messages, calls, people stopping
I agree
me.
with that. I agree, but
Yeah.
it's just the back of my mind. I remember, man.
That bad taste,
37 votes,
taste
man.
left in your
I
mouth.
still
I
remember
understand.
that. I remember that. I remember.
I'm enjoying the little bit of celebrity, that people come up to me, pulling out their personal phone, they took a picture with their ballot and go, look,
Right.
don't let me down.
Right.
I'm like, I promise I won't. I'll do whatever I need to do to make sure this local is better. But the whole thing is that we got to get everybody on board. We got new hires I talked to, and I was like, did you get your ballot? And I've been preaching this to these few new hires for a while.
Right.
Man, they looked at me like deer in headlights, and I was like, really? They're like, and they just shrugged their shoulders and walked away. And I was like, I mean, I need you to vote. I mean, this is important. And they're like, and that's the type of
Right.
response you don't want to hear. But then again, it's like you can't only do so much because you explain everything to everybody.
And they still don't vote.
Yeah.
We talk about the IBT and what they did with this contract vote, but they did everything they could to get people to vote.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's on their phone now.
Right.
People still didn't vote, even
Yeah.
though it was more votes.
Everything.
And then history, the numbers,
It was even more convenient for everybody.
and they still didn't do
Yeah.
it. So
and here's a question too: why aren't we doing that here at the local? Why can't we?
probably
vote on
because
things?
of money.
issue?
You know what I mean? Money.
issues because it's a
And-
little bit more. You have to upgrade the system and make sure it's right.
And
test it.
plus, if you
Oh,
do
we
that
have
on
to
a local,
upgrade a lot more than this.
yeah, and think about this too. If you do it on a local election, people are going to vote locally. May not nationally. They may not understand. A lot of people don't know who Hoffa is and what's the guy, Dennis Taylor.
Yeah.
But they know
Ken
Hooker.
Hall, yeah.
They know Jumbo. They know Bagby. They know Romeo.
Yeah.
They know all these guys. They know Shanahan. So these names they're familiar with, so they'll vote.
Most of them,
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Because
but
the crazy part is when they walk past the people in office right now, they're walking past them.
and they don't know.
And they don't know them. They're coming to us asking for help.
Right.
Like, I need to call the hall. I got to ask a question that's
Right.
personal. Okay, what's going on? Well, they're outside. Really?
Right.
You walk past all of them.
And they don't know them.
They don't know who they are.
They don't
Yeah.
see them.
So I know the union meeting was on Saturday, and that was interesting. And can I go? You want me to go into this now? Explain to the people about this new higher rate in the union dues.
That's crazy. Y'all gotta check this out.
All right, so it's very, very, very confusing, and give me time and bear with me, okay? Because I got to explain this how it was explained to me, because it's about how union dues are being taken out for new hires.
Put it right here.
So, my mother got hired in June, all right? So, when you get hired to UPS, and it's been like this I've been here 19 years, and it's been like this before I started. So when I started, it was $25 a week for union dues for 8 weeks. And they're still preaching that when you get hired. But it's not the case. So here's what's going on. All right. Everybody that's coming through the door as of right now, as August 1st, 2019, you are making $14 an hour. So the formula for the union dues being taken out is 2.5 times your hourly rate, and you divide that by 4, and that's how you get your weekly due that you have to pay for the union. So with that being said, it is $8.75 a week that you would pay if you're making $14 an hour. Now, Once you hit seniority as a new hire, this is what they do. They take $25 a week. Now, they don't take no more than $25 a week. It's up to $25 a week. So this is key. Remember this part. So when you hit seniority, they start taking $25 a week. Whole. You don't see no breakdown. This is to make you whole with union dues for back dues until you're made whole. They do not take any dues out that go, or any initiation fees out. Okay? So this is key. This is going to take about 2 to 3 weeks to make you whole. 4 weeks max. It all depends. So if you go with the 4 weeks to be safe, 4 weeks. Okay? So that's a high ball, a little round up-ish. Now, you're made whole with the union dues. Now you got to pay the initiation fee, which is $200. Okay? Your $200 initiation fee is going to come out every week until you're made whole with that. Now, you got to also pay your weekly dues. This is where it gets confusing, and they break it down. Every week you get a paycheck, and it'll say $8.75 union dues, and then it'll say $16.25 initiation, INT. You add them both together, you get $25. So they're not going to take no more than $25 a week. Now, that $16.25 is going to go towards your $200 initiation fee. Until you're paid off in that, that's what's going to happen. So you're going to see the breakdown of $16.25 INT and $8.75 for your, it'll say union due. Now that once that's done, now you're done paying the $200, they both will disappear. Now you're going back to paying $25 whole again. Yeah. Now it's not going to be broken up. It's going to be on there, say $25, and the union hall is going to break that up. My guess it's going to be the same breakup because you still got to pay the $8.75 union due. So the $16.25 is going to go towards an assessment fee. The assessment fee is $50. Now, this is what we've been going around preaching to everybody and telling everybody don't know, but I can say people know on ramp and building shift on twilight shift because Carl and Ron have been going in a new hire class and preaching that. But everybody else that does not know, okay, this is how it is. $50, the assessment fee, you go to one union meeting. After you go to one union meeting, you have a little seminar after. It's about 20 minutes. You get a T-shirt. They take your name and everything down, and they send you the $50 assessment fee back. Okay? Right. So that's what this assessment fee is. Now, back to the formula. The $16.25, again, the whole $25 that they're taking out your check, not broken down. It's going to the hall. The hall's breaking it down. They said you could call them and get the breakdown of them. This is going to happen until the $50 assessment fee is made whole. So you figure, let's say another 3 weeks on that. Maybe 4, because when you add everything up, so to say 4 for the sake of argument. Now, after all this is done, you are finally going to make a paycheck paying a regular weekly fee of $8.75 a week. And how long is this going to take, Hook? Roundabout 22 weeks. 22 weeks, which is 5.5 months, until you get a regular paycheck as a new hire without all these fees coming out. Now, the kicker is, and this is a huge kicker, and I think that it's a wrong date, so I'm only quoting what was said to me by the person who I called from the union hall. All right? This was implemented, the way it was stopped, where it was $25 a week for 8 weeks, that was stopped April 2002. And the new way that I was saying just now was implemented May 2002. You're talking 17 years ago?
And nobody knew about it.
And nobody knew about it. So I'm going to say, I'm thinking it's 2012. Because I spoke to a lot of members, I explained this breakdown to them, And a lot of members that were hired after 2002, they're like, they never went through this. I'm like, okay, well, it kind of makes sense to me where it's about 2012. So even if it's 2012, you're talking about 7 years ago.
And nobody knew about it.
And nobody knows about this.
Either way, 2002, 2012, the fact that, it wasn't explained to people.
The principal officer don't know anything, and you have to call. We're standing in the hall asking a question, and we still got to call the hall. That's what it's amazing.
Is that when your mom spoke up?
Yeah, my mom was. Yeah, she was snapping at it because it made no sense that we're here trying to get a breakdown, just like I gave to everybody. We're trying to get this breakdown so people can understand. Now, why can't you explain that to us? If you don't know, just be a man and just hey, listen, I really do not know. It's not my department. I should know this. But if everybody had been told, I got on the phone with Hook, and I was like, listen, the end of time, we all will be dust. We'll be dead and buried. We do know one thing: UPS will be hiring. They're going to keep hiring. Yeah. Now, if they're hiring, you need to know how this is done. Now, UPS is going into the Cornerstone and telling everybody it's $25 a week for 8 weeks. But that's a blatant lie because you got $50 still. So it's $250 that they're telling them is $200. And then on top of that, they're making them pay union dues and then make a payment towards it, like almost like a credit card or a loan. And it's crazy.
They need to have somebody in these classes to explain all that stuff to people, man, because like you just said, man, I mean, if UPS don't care, they don't care. They just come in and, hey, man, it's $200 and that's it.
I mean, if you broke it down how I did just now to people, I can tell you right now they're not going to stay. Because you're going to tell me I'm going to be paying fees until almost 6 months with the company, and then 3 more months I get my benefits. I mean, this place is hard enough as it is. So you want me to pay all these assessment fees and initiation fees and back dues and this, that. Back in the day, you paid the $25 a week for 8 weeks, and after that was done, you paid the back dues, and you were ready to go.
Right.
It wasn't that hard. Now they're saying that the IBT implemented this in May of 2002, and this is what's going on.
Man, we don't know when it happened.
Yeah, nobody knows anything, and here's the problem. That's the main problem. Nobody knows anything.
Right.
So we're trying to break it down to everybody. I'm trying to educate the members. I'm trying to get stuff like this. Now, we could segue into what we read on our Facebook page where people are getting their IDs taken by security for not letting them look through the bags. They can't do that. They could take their name. See, when I went to security personally, I told everybody that you have to, cooperate with security. If you're going to bring a clear bag in, you got to make sure they can see and nothing wrapped up. They're going to ask you to dump it if you do that. And you got to cooperate. Now, unfortunately, people are taking stuff. That's just how it is. Right. That's been a thing that's been happening forever. They're trying to tighten things up to make sure it's not happening. Okay, fine. But when they ask you to go through your stuff, I wouldn't dump out my bag. I let them go through it because if you ain't got nothing to hide, you ain't got nothing to hide. I know people have personal. I know
they can't put their hands in your bag.
So they want you to. They want you. They do it. I think if you give them permission, you can. But they don't just do. I mean, I've let them do it.
Don't touch my stuff. I'll take it out if you.
Me personally, I have nothing to hide.
Unfortunately, man, like you said, man, there's a lot of stuff been missing out.
Yeah.
So they got to protect.
They don't have the power to take my ID.
No,
they don't.
Let me ask y'all this: have y'all seen supervisors going through the same thing? Because on Twilight, it's the supervisors who was arrested for stealing. Mm-hmm. So they should be subject to the same stuff that we're subject to.
Right. Yeah, I did not see the supervisors doing it, but I do see them selectively choosing people, and I've noticed that they are basically it's discriminatory because they're choosing the young people and letting old people walk by.
That's the issue right there.
It's really like that because for example, if I walk by with my lunch bag, and last Friday because I had to go out to Westgate last Friday. I had my lunch bag, and in my lunch bag I have a plastic cooler that keeps ice in there. So I walked by, put it on the thing. The girl goes, "Okay." I looked in there. She's okay. Take that out.
Take what out?
The plastic piece. Because does it come out? I said, yeah, lift it up now. I'm like, so I lift it up. She looks in there, open your zipper. Okay, so it goes through there. Okay, thank you. But then another person comes back with the same thing. You don't say nothing. So you're like basically almost like TSA where they're picking and choosing who they want to go through. So my whole thing is if you're going to do this for one person, you got to do it for all.
Yeah, they got to do it everybody.
And then you can't pick and choose older people because guess what? I hate to tell you, older people steal too. Younger people steal. And then they're actually doing it at one gate. I was told today that they're choosing the one gate because they think that more people steal that don't drive.
See,
So I'm like right there, like hold on.
that right there is a stereotype.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, all right, so you're telling me people that don't drive steal. How about the people that drive? That's a fast getaway. I mean, come on. It just makes sense to do it to everybody. You can't pick and choose. And then now you're going to take people IDs. Now, my thing is the union should be in there fighting right now when they hear about this because you don't have the authority to touch my ID. You could take my name. When I come in, they shut it off. That's what's going to happen. If you give any problem to these security guards, they're going to take your name. They're going to have your ID shut off where you can't get in the building. And then when you report to your next work day, security is going to come down and you're going to have a conversation. It might not be a good one, but you got to make sure you have the proper representation because they're going to try to get you. And that's the problem because you're not cooperating. And right there, they're going to think you're guilty of doing something.
Now, here's the thing. You talk to security.
Yes.
So they have some type of criteria.
Yes.
But the guards are not following that criteria.
That's the issue. So that's why I keep trying to tell people, if they see this stuff going on, they got to report it. Because if they're not if they're not following the list that they're being provided, like for example, I was told, I want to go to them and basically make it easier for the members. The members are highly upset, especially female members, because they have like a lot of hygiene products in their bag and stuff like that, feminine products. And when they dump their bag out, that stuff comes out. And you don't want to, women don't want to see that stuff. I mean, nobody wants their personal items on a table and some stranger touching them. And that's another thing. But here you go. And if you have the clear bag, you make sure nothing is wrapped up. Because some people take their hoodies off and put it in a clear bag and they like scrunch it up or they wrap something up in it. They said, make sure you do not do that. Okay, that's fine. So make sure they do not do that. Everything is seeable in the clear bag. Now, as of I told somebody that, they still make them dump their bag. And I'm like, that makes no sense. So I have to get with the guy I spoke with and let them know. That's number one. Now, make sure you have no cell phones. Now, if you have a cell phone, property pass. If you can't get a sticker, it's a property pass. And you got to make sure you cover that in, because if not, it's going to be a problem.
Another problem is do not share stickers.
Oh, do not.
Definitely do not share stickers.
If you have a sticker, legitimately, that is your sticker. If you do share a sticker with another member and they find out, you will be fired for dishonesty, and the member will be fired as well.
Yes.
It's a double dose.
If you have more than one phone,
yes,
you have to let them know this is my second phone.
Yes.
So if you have two phones with stickers on them, you got to let them know I have two phones.
If you lose a sticker, report it to security right away, because they will take note of that, give you a new sticker. And anybody who has that stolen sticker will be terminated because they cannot use the sticker. So make sure you are honest, because they're cracking down on this stuff. And I've seen it firsthand. It's not going to be nice because they're going to look at everything. And that's how they do with UPS. They look at everything. So clear bag, nothing wrapped up in the bag. After all that's said and done, if you have clothes, make sure it's not in there. And then if you have, I told them, I was like, what's the other thing we could do? They said cooperate. So make sure you cooperate, because if not, they're going to take your name, shut your ID off, and you're going to report to security. Now, I was like, okay, that's all good. But now I got to go back and reiterate this to security. Like, listen, I'm being told that your guys are just randomly choosing people that they feel can, they can, or fit the criteria,
right.
And they're not doing the same thing for everybody. And when people are following the guidelines that you provided for me, they're basically still having them dump their bags out. So I'm doing this. I'm making sure I'm going out my way and doing this, because it's not right for the membership to have to go through this stuff. I wake up to my phone blowing up, like, Ron, can you do this? And I don't mind doing it because it's what should be done. But, in other sense, it's like, I heard that what Jumbo said, Shanahan was at the gate and somebody came to him and asked him, and he just stood there and watched. And it's like, you can't do that. It's like, you're representing the membership still. You're still in office. You know, you still got to fight for the members. You got to make sure this is right, and if things like that are being done right.
But you know what? There's a lot of stuff that we know that the e-board is not doing. Now, I'm glad James is here.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up my point since he's here. You had an issue with your address, right?
An issue with
Your address.
You didn't get your ballot.
They didn't get his ballot.
Right.
So, now, Joe Expo, our future vice president, put up a post. And I read the post. Now, at the union meeting, e-board said UPS does not share the addresses, right?
That was cute. That was key because they said if you have an address down with UPS, say you changed it on UPSers.com. Right? And you moved like last week or a month ago, however long ago.
Right.
Once you change your address for UPSers, it's changed, and that's where your paycheck is going.
Right.
So if you miss your paycheck, they mail it, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you do not call the hall and change it personally, because we're all adults, right?
Yeah.
It will not, they don't have the information because they don't share information.
But here's the thing. That's not true.
Okay.
Well,
I call BS on it too.
It might not be. The fact is, they're supposed to. Now, this is in the supplement. I'm going to read it word for word.
Okay.
I'm going to read it word for word. This is what Joe put up.
I was reading everything. I must have skipped that one.
Article 46, Section 4. Within 60 days of ratification of this agreement, the employer will provide to the union that's important now, every 90 days. Not just when you start, every 90 days. A complete listing of all current employees. This listing shall provide the name, social security number, address, telephone number, center, sort, job classification, full-time seniority, part-time seniority, and rate of pay. The listing of all current employees will be provided in a Microsoft Excel or some other mutually agreed upon electronic data.
Now, it said all and every, right?
It says all employees and every 90 days. So that means if you move within the previous 90 days, I can understand why your address might be updated. But if you move outside them 90 days, your address should be updated, and they should have the information.
Right.
So UPS is required contractually to do so.
Wow.
And the thing about it is, they the ones who negotiated because it's in the supplement.
How about that? I mean, that's enlightening because
you're counting on them to update things. Have you seen their website? I'm sorry.
So hold on. So you're telling me just like this $50 assessment fee where they don't tell nobody where this money, where's it go? We still don't know.
Right.
Okay. Because if you don't collect it within a year, it's theirs. What's it for? Where's it go? What do you give it back or what do you don't do? It's theirs. So you're telling me they negotiated that as well, and they don't really tell nobody. Now they negotiated this and they didn't tell nobody.
But here's the thing. I went back to the last contract. It's in there.
Okay.
I went back to the contract before that. It's in there.
Ooh. So you say 3 contracts so far.
It's in there. So at least the last 3 contracts, it's been in there.
Right.
So there's no reason why.
It's Article 47.
Right. And here's another thing about this election.
Yes.
When a ballot is undeliverable, it goes back to the hall, so they know who ballots are undeliverable.
Do they fix that and try to reach out to the person?
How do we now? When Rich got mailers back, he went online, tried to get the people, and I know people were telling people, "Yo, you get your ballot." I did myself personally.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's to say they won't look at the names and say, "Well, I know these guys don't support me." Boom, ballot gone.
But,
how do we know that?
So what is the proper method? Like, are they supposed to, by our contract, to get them a ballot if it returns? Like, how does it work out?
They're supposed to.
Yeah, because if my ballot was undeliverable to me,
right,
it got returned to them. They see it was me. They're supposed to know who I am. Now what?
Well, this is the way Shanahan runs his office. He puts it on you. It's your fault.
Yeah,
it's your fault.
They do blame the members because they blame the members for not updating their address.
But the thing is, You as a principal officer should be doing it
in
yourself.
the contract, like you just read, you really don't have to.
No,
the company is going to.
The only way
you're obligated, contractually obligated to do that.
The only way you can fall out of that is if you move within those 90 days.
Right.
If you move 90 days before,
right,
it should have been updated. And especially during election time, you want to make sure that it's updated because you want to make sure. Now, you don't keep saying, "Oh, your vote counts," and you're not doing everything possible to make sure it counts.
Right.
I mean, me personally,
that's crazy.
My thought process and what I would do when I get in office is 6 months before a new election, I would make sure I personally get everybody's name and number.
You know what?
And guess what? They have the numbers on file. I would sit down and call everybody and make sure their address is updated because everybody needs a ballot.
But to take it one step further, hold the company accountable. Every 90 days, I want that Excel sheet.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Every 90 days, I want that Excel sheet.
It's like,
well, they don't get to see this either, though. So you know not going to.
Who's checking the house?
Yeah. We got a seniority list in the airport.
Crazy.
That's about 5 years old. Honestly, in the honest it's about 5 years old.
People have passed on. People have got from part-time to full-time. And here's the crazy thing.
Check this out.
What's that?
Eric said, who's to say that they don't take the return ballots and use them for a vote for themselves?
You know, and you're right. How do we know that?
Right.
That's why they always said that if you didn't get your ballot, that was a no vote.
But you know
or
what?
A yes vote.
But you know, remember last in 2016, the ballots went to the hall. It was
the thing I had to call
the
up there.
box was
Yo,
in
man.
the hall.
I said this can't happen, man. Did you know that they had the actual ballot box
in the hall,
right in the middle of shop store meeting? I said, heck no, ain't no way in the world we're gonna go.
And think about it. So the mailman comes to deliver it. You like that? Come on, man.
Yep.
Like you said, who to say they don't take them return ballots, toss them, or revote themselves? We don't. How do we know that?
Yeah.
If they're already not doing what they're contractually obligated to do,
right?
What else are they not doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that right there, that point right there makes you think, man. Really makes you think.
A lot of this stuff makes you think. It's really crazy because, like, when you break it down of everything they're doing or not doing, it really makes you wonder. You know.
So they can really take them ballots, vote, and let's just send them back if that's what they want to do.
Well, you know what? And I, since I've been on vacation, I actually thought about sitting outside the hall. Just waiting all night long. Just watch everything that go on. Because I didn't want them to go get the ballots somehow or another. I mean, I'm not, it's just me being paranoid because what happened in 2016. But, man, I'm going to tell you something. All kind of stuff went through my mind. Like, yo, they could actually, because we're not there. Right. You get the ballot, go throw it in the trash, and then you pick out the ones that you think might vote for you. Mm-hmm. And ones you may not, you throw them in the trash. I'm not saying that they do that.
No.
And I'm hoping, I pray that they don't.
But what's to stop them?
Yeah.
That's the thing. What's to stop them?
That's sad. Well, you guys know that the ballots are out. We need you guys. If you don't have a ballot by now, you need to call the hall 215-289-0580. If you don't have a way to get up to the hall, if they're not picking up the phone, call me. I'll take you up there.
Oh, we had a member who called for the last 2 days.
Tell him, Markel, yeah.
Literally, last 2 days can't get through.
He said he's been calling since Thursday. He said Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. So
well, they said what Trish said. Friday is not a good time to call.
But hold on. When I called, they answered right away. I got Joni, and then I got Trish because my mom made a stink about it. So I don't know if they have caller ID in there or something. But let me tell you something. They answered right away when I called because I took a video that when I called the hall last week, it rang and rang and rang, and then went click and hung up on me. And then I called again, the same thing. And then I was like, this is ridiculous. I made a post on our Facebook page. Right. And then I called again. I waited. I called again and rang, and I videotaped it, and it just went silent. And then I was like, this is ridiculous. Nobody's answering, no answer machine, no nothing. I mean, okay, I understand you can't be at the phone 24/7. Right. We understand you're human, But when it comes down to something like serious as this, I mean, every point, if somebody's calling the hall, there's a serious issue. But still, you should have an answer machine answering up, voicemail, so on and so forth. I called non-business hours, got a voicemail. You know what I mean? But why should I wait for non-business hours?
Right.
And that's where the messed up thing is. It's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't type thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they tell you to call the hall. Nobody answers. You go to the hall. They tell you to call the hall. Huh? What am I supposed to do now? This is where it gets messed up.
I mean, there's a lot of changes that's going to have to take place. I had a guy from the Southwest Center talk to me a couple of days ago. And he was very adamant about saying that, man, Hook, once you guys get in, man, you guys going to have a lot of work to do because the company, man, they feel as though they can do any and everything they want to do.
Anything and everything.
I'm talking about like seriously. They go up to the member, yo, you ain't working today.
Yep.
What you mean go to the member and say you
ain't working today?
Ain't working today.
Yo, it's and a guy reached out to me yesterday. He didn't work over his 30 days. He went to get seniority. He trying to find out what's going on because he's a driver, and they're trying to tell him them days don't count in the summertime and all this other
summer
kind of
driver. See, it's so
he's like, yo, man, what's going on? I started this time. I worked. Now I went to be a driver and I worked. Something, what's going on here? So I put him in the right direction to get some answers.
Yeah,
but
that's so crazy.
Did they say what he was classified as?
No, he didn't tell me.
Because when I try to
if he's a
summertime help,
what you call them drivers, utility drivers, then I know their situation is a little bit different when they drive because they don't gain seniority.
Yeah.
So
and it's in that specific time of the year.
Right.
Because what happened when I tried to go full time a while ago, I was going to do an air driver. And then when I got I had to go take the road test, sign up everything. So one of my coworkers was like, "Rome, you call HR up because you got to reiterate it to HR because they have the jobs. Just because your union tells you one thing, HR is going to tell you another." I laughed at him. I'm like, our union should know this. So they called me. Okay, wrong. You call HR. They were like, "All right, we got you down to summer help for a cover driver." I said, what? I don't want to do that. I was told I was being an air driver. So the summertime, you can't gain seniority for that because you got all these hours, Jimmy might go on vacation, so on and so forth might go on vacation. I know you're feeders, but still, it's like in the package cars, everybody takes vacations. So you're going to get your days. They want you to do it off-peak, and that's considered off-peak, but it's a busy time for people going on vacations. So it's just rates written in. And I can be a little wrong here, but that's the way it was explained to me. And that's what will kill me.
Yeah, so
read it.
So as you guys know, we have a raffle going on.
Oh, yeah.
Free. Not charging anything.
Free.
We just need your name and your number.
Get you a ticket.
And we're going to do that. I can't do it on the air for the station, but once we go to the 10 o'clock hour when we off here, I'll tell you more about that. But we just need everybody to vote. That's just the bottom line. Everybody has to vote. Everybody's complaining. Everybody said they got us. And I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but we heard the same thing in 2016 as well. So, and these guys will tell you, man, they get on me about having more faith, and I try to be a man of faith. But I'm telling you, I remember all the hard work we put in 2016, going up and down the road, getting booed across the country, going to getting almost homeless out and fighting and all that other kind of
that delegate convention, man, that was an eye opener.
Exactly,
that was an eye opener.
And so going through all that experience and coming back and doing this and doing that, and to come up short by 37 votes, I still remember that. And so I just want you guys to make sure you vote. All the texts and the messages, man, they sound really, really good and it feels good. But November 4th come around and we come up short again, it's not going to mean anything.
But you know what? I'm going to take the positive road. What you said is completely true. Mm-hmm. But this time, there's a lot of long-time unity supporters.
That's true, too. That's
who
true.
are also not so. So a lot of stuff that they said back then, they're not saying this time.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I had a long-time unity supporter tell me today. He walked up to me and said, I never talked to the guy before ever. Mm-hmm. See him all the time, speak, hey, never stop having the conversation. He said to me, y'all going to win? I said, I hope we do. He said, yo, man, them guys got to go. I said, wow, he's a long time. And this is not the first time this has happened.
But then you get these guys like this. I mean, to cut you off.
Yeah.
There's this one particular person. I mean, I'm not gonna call her name, but you probably know her. She is die hard to the bone unity. I'm talking about eat, sleep, drink, wake up.
She must ain't never mentioned me.
Nah, you know, I never seen her there, but she is die hard.
Well.
So a couple months ago, I gave her a flyer that talked about the members were saying why Unity had to go. It's like 3 or 4 people on this flyer. One would say something, another one would say something else. So she's reading it. And then she looks at it and says, yeah, we do need to change, but it's not going to happen. So I see this Unity supporter outside we was campaigning and stuff, right? And the Unity was out there. And so she's out there with them, totally different story. Oh, man, we all got it. But you just said behind closed doors that we needed to change. And those
sounds familiar. I was about to say.
Right. And those are things that get to me like, dang, man.
It's my man. It's my man.
Right. It's like those are the kind of people that worry me. Because how many of those people are saying that to us?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, Hook, I got you. Romeo,
Yeah.
man. Listen,
Yeah.
man, you my man. You through thick and then I got
Exactly.
you.
I see
then
what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the ballot turn in Unity vote.
Well, listen, I could tell you from.
That's the part that scared me, man.
I know I'm a new guy. I came on this late June, and I know I brought a lot to the table, and I appreciate being a part of this. I say it 1,000 times, thank you. And this is a humbling experience because, like, I was given to the ability to help others, given a little power, by Mr. Smart. Thank you for being his alternate. So I'm able to help him help others, and that's good. Mm-hmm. Now, the picture's worth 1,000 words. Let me tell you something. Like Hook says, I got you. We understand that. Right. But like I had something similar to Clarence Bagby happened to me when I was at work, and it totally shocked me because I know this person was a Unity supporter. I was sitting down in my work area filling out some paperwork, and the person approached me and was like, hey, bud. I was like, hey, what's up? And he waved me over. I walked over. He pulls out his cell phone, scrolled over to his the picture he wanted to show me, and the picture was a picture of the ballot and a picture of the envelope with his name on it. So he was like, yes, envelope, name, address. That's me. Ballot, my choice. And he had us X'd off for everybody. And he looked at me, put his hand around my shoulder. He said, don't let me down. And I was like, wow, that was big to me because he was a supporter of them, and he knows it was enough, and he had enough. So that, to me, I've gotten a lot of that. So a lot of that makes me feel very happy because, it feels that all this campaigning I've been doing, that we've been doing, has gotten to the people, it's gotten to the members, and they understand. Now, we, honestly, if you take the campaigning part away, people do see what's going on. Yeah. And they know what's going on. So because of that, the proof is in the pudding, as they would say. Right. Because we could just sat back and stood there with a flyer with our name on it, like some people, and hope for the best. But we're not like that. We're about educating the membership and stuff like that. Oh, we got 2 special guests in the house.
What's up, man? Come on, y'all, take a seat.
Come take a seat. I'll stand up for this. Man. What's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
What's going on, man?
It's always good when the members come and join us.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. It's about you guys. It's about the members.
So y'all here, man. What y'all got for the people, man?
Good morning.
Remember, no cursing.
Hey.
Yeah,
you're right. No, it ain't no pressure.
No.
It ain't no pressure. I'm here because I just want to tell it how it is.
All right.
Again, I want to speak to and apologize to all of my brothers and sisters of how things went down on Saturday at the Union Hall, because things shouldn't have got like that. Rome was standing Rome was standing there by my side.
I was upset about that.
I posed the question, our financial report comes out each month. And building maintenance was one of the things that
we gotta get into that too. Chair broke.
We sat there and talked about. Oh yeah,
we talked about building maintenance, and
is questioned about building maintenance. So July's building maintenance on the report was $395. August building maintenance was $510. So here we come for September's building maintenance. It's only $20. Wondering what's going on with this. But and you know, on the radio show you last week you asked me to post the pictures.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna pick it back off of that. And the reason why I asked Reggie to do that was because there was a flyer that was put out last week by the people in office that they spent $89,000 on the roof being repaired. But as those pictures that you showed, it's still in a bad shape.
Yeah.
So
now,
and then they told us that they couldn't go to the Clemson Park trip because of $89,000.
You know what? That part wasn't on the flyer. And the thing about it, it was the members who said, "Yo, didn't y'all tell us
Exactly.
that the roof was that's why we couldn't go to Clemson Park?"
Yeah.
See, the members was saying it, but they didn't say that.
but they sitting there saying,
Newsflash.
Hot off the
Newsflash.
presses.
Newsflash. Uni's latest fly.
But they still putting out flyers.
Hot off the presses.
you know, but they sitting there saying, you know, about the
Yeah,
building.
I gotta read that.
The building maintenance is not the roof. It was a cinder block on the side, on the outside of the wall.
Yeah.
Right. So I posed this question. So what happened was some older retiree,
Now hold on, we're getting to that. He is the janitor.
the janitor.
Okay.
Now, I don't know who he is. Somebody.
We were talking.
Exactly. Now, I didn't know who this guy was from Adam.
Because he didn't introduce himself. That bothered me to no end.
Didn't introduce himself to Adam to me at all. And now I was talking to Rome about this. Came up to me, was just like,
Let me put
yo, I hear that you got a problem with the wall.
I gotta read
Yeah, Hook got a you got a problem with the wall.
Hey, hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
Just hold on 1 second.
Go ahead, bro.
Uh-oh, breaking news.
Now, I just got this flyer, and I'm gonna read you the last. I want this. I want
Take
this
a
right
deep
here.
breath, man. Take a
Okay.
deep breath.
Take a breath. Get your water out. Okay, we're good.
Now, the latest flyer from our incumbents, it says they fought for all these contracts and they got all these 22-3 jobs, and you didn't have to pay for the pension. And but the last paragraph I want to read, it said, "Let's not play games with our future. When the going gets tough, we need experienced leadership committed to take on the most difficult challenges. Any candidate can say vote no with no solution to get a contract or bail out on you when."
How is that possible? He's so upset right now. It's not even
This
funny.
part right here, I want to focus on, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, let's go ahead, bro.
It says to get a solution, to get a contract or bail out on you when you need it the most.
Who bailed?
Where was they at in 2016, Clarence?
No, I'm gonna tell you something.
Where was they at when they set out on this, Reggie?
They
bailed out
on
on the members. They didn't care.
Wait a minute.
So they put the stuff out here like this.
You say bail out? Wait, when you say bail out, hold on.
They're confessing.
Wait.
Right.
But you say bail out, but when you sit there and question, or when the question is posed to Rob Warmby, why he stepped down or why he was fired or whatever the situation was, he was quiet as a church mouse. When you ask him to come on when you question him or ask him to come on the show to spill
ask
what's
Ivory
going
Meekins
on.
about how you build him out. Ask Ivory Meekins about that. Ask all of us that's sitting in this room about how you build us out. Ask Clarence when you sent him 4,000 miles away and you bailed out on him. But this right here.
Hold it. Let's be more fast.
We stay and fight the fight that needs to be fought.
So So in 2016, when it was time to go to the delegate election, now one of them stood up and said, "I'm going to go down there and defend your honor." Not one. But here's the thing. Not only did they do that, when High for one, they went down in the party with him.
Right.
You couldn't go fight with him, but you went to party with him. But we
the Unity Slate does not back down or hide from a fight.
What did they just do? What did they just do?
Who they taking shots
False.
at in that flyer? Because nobody here's backing down from anybody. We were the one in the
False.
parking lot when
Yo.
they had the people
False.
try to kick us out.
That
Ask-
is a false statement.
Me and
I will
Hook were
tell
there
you
when the
now,
security tried to
personally. Bill Shanahan and Bob Trainer. The Labor Department was late in my grievances. I was owed $3,000+, and they get out there and argue with me for 15+ minutes and say, "Hey, don't do this, or UPS, you might need them one day because you might get fired."
No,
so don't sit here
I
and tell
see something
me
from here.
they back
I
down.
see something from here. Now,
All right,
now this right here.
call that.
4-1 double time and back pay for part-timers working the day after Thanksgiving. First off, that was already in the contract. Secondly, we've been getting double time for working on Thanksgiving for every time since we've been working.
Exactly.
So when did you fight and win that when it's already been there? That already is already there.
What's more important is they never showed one check, never talked about how many part-timers that actually got paid the checks, never showed how much money that they won, never touted anything or any facts or details. About
now-
what they did. But we're still waiting for the attendance grievance
breath.
that's in
Deep breath.
arbitration supposedly.
Now, Expo, I want you to speak on this because this shit baby right here.
Uh-oh.
Protected our language for part-timers to get full-time jobs. When did you do that?
Hold it. Here's another thing.
Wow.
How
To
many
get our addresses
part-timers do
right.
you know, everybody out there in UPS land, right, that currently work full-time hours, but the hall or the
Yes.
union never goes after
They
that
go after them.
full-time job
Exactly.
and lets it abuse happen, right? The alternate shop steward came to me today and said, "Well, we've already let it go on for so long. Why don't we just keep letting it go on?" I said, "Listen, my man, hold it.
Go back.
Why
Go
don't
back,
we
go
just
back.
let it keep going?"
Go back to that.
Ryan Espo, say it slower and clearly.
Oh,
Reggie.
why don't
And these
we
guys want to
let
stay in
this-
office.
Wake up,
Where's
guys,
the
wake
good
up.
fight at, right?
I'm
Hold
a
it.
part-timer.
Shanahan's crying about the pension.
Hell
Someone getting paid $1,000 and put into the
Excuse
part-time
me.
pension, right?
Right.
But he's not worried about these guys losing $20,000 and $30,000 a year because they're misclassified as part-time employees. Bill, come on, man. Step up to the plate.
Progression, pension,
hold
you
UPS
lose all.
accountable.
You guys should not have put this flyer out. You shouldn't have done
No,
it.
but here's another one. Protected our full-time members from paying into a pension. They did that by
Extortion.
extorting our vote.
Right.
And not only that, the $6 million deficit is a maybe. It might not even be.
Yeah.
So how did you protect us
They
from
can't
that?
even could protect the members from getting their ballots correctly with the with it in the.
Wait a minute.
You know,
That's number 2, vacation days. What is that?
What did they say they did for it?
Nothing. They say vacation days.
What happened?
That's vacation days.
What they do to vacation days?
I don't know. I mean, they split it up. I don't know.
Huh.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
they shouldn't have put this flyer
that's
out.
decent. I mean,
They shouldn't have did that. That was really
you
bad.
guys got good vacation. Thank you.
I mean, the fact that they said they stand up to a fight and all this, they don't bail out. How many times have they done that, Clarence?
Well,
How many times?
this is amazing by itself because
now here's another one. Gain hundreds of 22 jobs for part-time.
Whoa, wait. The IBT gained those jobs
That's
because not
what they
one
say
grievance
that.
was filed when part-timers were working full-time
Right.
jobs. So put that in perspective, Teachers Local 623.
but what's the point of
The
gaining
IBT
jobs if
got
they're getting
those
taken
jobs.
away?
But here's the thing: the jobs, these jobs that they're talking about in our contract, we have a total of 75 jobs.
Yeah,
25
per life of the contract.
per year, whatever the case may be. But that's only if the IBT gets the jobs into the contract. It has nothing to do with y'all.
No.
Wow, this.
No.
They shouldn't
sorry,
even put
sorry.
that flyer out,
Listen,
man.
they're
That
not
was
cut-
bad.
Because that's laughable.
Like we
That
said
was
to
a
you
bad
2 weeks
flyer.
ago, right? What's the meetings, right? You guys know full-time, you know part-timers working full-time, and you do nothing. You do nothing about it.
4 people
so
on
don't
that
sit
slate
there
that
and
probably
try to
don't even
play the
understand the
game
flyer.
like all of a sudden you got something. You only get what you're told to go get or what you're allowed to go get. So the fight you fight is directed by someone else. Stop being scared and do the job.
Here's the thing: negotiate these contracts. 2002, only ones on the board in 2002 was
Shanahan.
Morris, and Morris is done.
More Shanahan went on there?
I don't know. So I don't see how that. Morris, Shanahan might have been because even George wasn't on there in 2002.
Right.
2008, you had Carl wasn't there, Kamak wasn't there,
Trainer wasn't
Trainer
there.
wasn't
Hester.
there,
Hester wasn't there.
wasn't there.
Well, Kamak just got on the board.
That's what I'm saying. In 2013, all the ones that
They
just named, they weren't there.
What?
In 2018, at least 3 of the ones we just named wasn't there.
Yeah. Right.
So how do y'all say y'all negotiate these contracts? And my thing is, no, even if you didn't negotiate the contract, were they good?
Matter of fact, the last two on there, the members said no to him.
Exactly.
Listen, if Bob Curry was here, he would say unity lies again.
right.
Oh,
Right.
Speaking of Bob Curry, I wish everybody would go to my last post, my last video that I put up. You know, when I was talking about Clarence Smart and how Jumbo stood up for him. Because Bob Curry put a link up when we were sitting there talking about the building maintenance and everything. You know,
They was at the gates today?
is some interesting information up on there. There's a lot of funding up on there that he put up in there, and he's talking about.
That's
what,
amazing.
what was that guy's name? The janitor.
Jimmy Abrams.
Jimmy Abrams. He's talking about his funding and the side deals that he's doing.
Yeah.
A lot of the side
See,
deals that he's doing.
The piggyback of what you're saying about that is basically, I was talking to Reggie, but something completely different, and then this guy comes over and grabs him. I gotta talk to you for a second. So now I'm watching him talk to him, but it's getting disgruntled. I told you, and I think I told Bagby to look at this because it's not getting well, because it's not turning out well. Because I know how Reggie ain't a pushover. So I'm sitting there. He's going to handle his own, but then it started getting to a place where I didn't like it, and I had to step in because I didn't understand how you're going to call somebody out at the union hall. You don't introduce yourself. You don't. This is the second instance I had with him personally where I don't like what he did. Last time, my mom had a 623 Lives Matter shirt on, and he went up to her and told her to take it off in the meeting. I said, hold on. You're telling I said, you know who she is? Well, she's a member. Yeah, I was like, that's my mother. I said, do you know who I am? Hold on. I said, do you know who I am? He was like, no. He's I know you're here a couple times. You won a raffle or whatever. I'm like, yeah. I was like, I'm part of 623 Lives Matter. I was like, and that's my mom. You don't do that. He's like, well, what do they do? I'm like, we do a lot more than what Unity does. That's what's going on. So that was strike one in my book. Now, strike two was with Reggie. My thing is, you don't introduce yourself to the man. You pull him aside. You start getting disgruntled. Now, he said something to him that I didn't like, and I'm really pissed off about it. And I'm excuse my PO. But anyway, he said to him that, how long you been here? And he said a year or some change, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, well, you haven't been here long enough to worry about the maintenance of the hall. Now, hold up. There's a time limit to be, concerned about the maintenance.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously. He said that to him. I'm like, hold on. I was like, this is out of hand right now. I was like, because you're putting time limits. I was like, as soon as you're paid into the local, you should care about everything about this local. I was like, the problem is you're a brainwashed disciple of Unity and you don't care. And I said it, James Anthony Romeo, come see me.
You know how much you're getting paid to clean for a year?
15,000. I think it's like $15,700 or $15,805 a year.
And
he's getting paid. But my thing is, like I said,
part-timers don't even make that.
Exactly. And then I'm a dues-paying brother because my concern is the hall is my house.
Yeah.
Right. Now this is my thing. Izzy Gray sat there and told me, because I was standing there talking to James's mom and everything, that, they got a janitor that they sit there and pay to cut the hedges and all this and that, and they're supposed to clean the trash, in front of the, out front, and clean the trash out front. I was just like, oh, really? But it's all this trash that's sitting out there and everything. He says, well, that's from the school kids and everything. I says, okay, now this is my concept, and I'm going to say something about that in a minute. But then he says, well, they rent the hall out to people and everything. So when they rent the hall out, because my concern was the stained ceiling tiles.
You see stained ceiling tiles, bubbled up walls, and so on and so forth.
Izzy Gray said, oh, well, when we rent the hall out, we take out those stained tiles and put new tiles up. So you take out the wait. His exact.
I didn't know that one.
So you take out the stained tiles to rent the hall out to give a good impression to the people that you're renting the hall to, but to your members, you give it a crappy look.
Wow, that's terrible. And then he was
he
was reiterating to him. He said, "Are you going to rent the hall out? Because I'll replace the tile." So that makes sense why he kept saying it to him. I said that makes no sense. If you're going to replace the tile, replace the tile. I mean, because it's all stained up. The walls are all bubbling out. It looks like mold and mildew.
But you rent the hall out, so the money that you making from renting this hall out, you telling me that you can't replace these tiles? and everything. Oh, it's not feasible. It's not economically feasible for us to keep.
They paid supposedly $89,000 to fix it.
The one member.
Exactly.
All right, good people. We're gonna be back after the break, and we appreciate you guys for listening to WOM 92.9 South Philadelphia Community Radio, giving you another live edition of the 623 Live Radio Show. We'll be right back in a moment.
Wow, that's crazy. So now we gotta announce our ticket thing on our Facebook page. Yeah, because we do the ticket for the TV.
Oh yeah, that free.
Oh,
Did you get a ticket? You got a ticket on, right?
The who?
The ticket for the television. Did you get it? All right.
I know. I went on to the thing and.
No, we got it live. Come see me after this. I got you.
All
right,
All right,
everybody.
good people. Hey, listen, we're gonna be giving out tickets.
No, you made the thing.
Yeah, you did. It's good. No, that's supposed to be off.
That's right. All right, good people. We gonna give out
They're on a commercial break.
tickets. All we need is your phone number, phone number and name, but it's got to be legible so you can read it.
Name and number gets you a ticket.
Right.
A ticket gets you an opportunity for a 43-inch Vizio television.
Right.
We will be calling it live next week
on the show.
So when we pull the name, we'll actually name the number and give you a call.
All right, good people. Don't forget.
See any one of us.
Right.
We all have tickets.
Right, all right.
It's crazy. No, because I had your back. I was snapping.
Yeah. But I was just like, yo, dude, it was crazy.
It was crazy how he was, because I told him, I was like, that's strike 2 in my book. I said, oh, you are the guy that takes the tickets and counts the money and gives
But
it
this
to
is my
That's
thing.
right.
But Jim, Bobby Curry sat there and posted all this on my post about him. Yeah, that's why I said that. If you go to the second post, the video that I put up about
On your thing?
on my video,
No, I mean, is it on your page or on our page?
is on the 623 Lives Matter.
I didn't know he was on our
All right, good people. We're back. Thank you for tuning in to WOOM 92.9 South Philadelphia Community Radio. Give you another edition of the 623 Lives Matter Show. We got our brothers Reggie, Jalen. We got a full house today. Election time, we need everybody to turn their ballots in. If you don't have one, 215-289-0580. Make sure that you send that ballot right back in. They're going to be counting November 4th at 9 a.m. That's a Monday.
Yep.
So we need you guys to vote. Everybody's complaining. We just read this falsified flyer from our incumbents. A lot of stuff that are misrepresented, just like them. They misrepresent us. And so we need to make sure we vote these jokers out, all right?
Now, here's something that came to my attention from my brother Jalen here. I want to address this because it's very important to me. First off, do not ever sign any type of production standards or anything like that. If it's not OSHA mandated or you can't cash it, do not sign it. So when they come up to you with like on preload, they got these scanners. Now they'll say, well, it's just to know that you've learn how to set the scanners up and all that stuff. Don't sign it. If you know how to set it up, then fine, set it up. That's fine. And here's the thing. Now, from what Jalen was telling me, when his scanner went bad or stopped, and they say, well, take it apart and do all this other stuff. Don't do that. If the scanner that they give you stop working for whatever reason, give it to your suit. Let him fix it because that's their responsibility. Don't go on there and start taking stuff apart because if something go wrong, first thing they're going to say is, oh, well, you did this, you did that. It's their equipment. It's their responsibility for them to make sure it works. If it doesn't work, that's on them. And now I hear that they're talking about all this retraining stuff about loading. You have people who've been loading package cars 10, 15 years. They know how to load. And the fact of the matter is, if you follow their methods, nobody would ever get done.
The worst thing you can do for UPS is exactly what they want.
So like I was telling them, if they want to retrain you, yeah, let you retrain. But you show me how you're going to 8 keys every box, scan every box, all this stuff.
Write down on every box.
Write down every box. You show me, if you follow the methods down to a T, show me anybody who can do that. And before you start trying to discipline anybody.
And then on top of it, the safety methods kind of offset the methods to loading, because one of the things they tell you for loading package cars, they want you to optimal carry. So if you optimal carry into a truck, it counteracts one of the methods. First thing, get close to the package, package, not packages. I'm not supposed to lift more than one package at a time.
You can't even see their own methods contradict themselves. You cannot follow the methods, and you cannot follow the methods.
In the house.
You cannot follow the methods and optimum carry, because if you do 8 keys on one box, how can you optimum carry and follow the 8 keys with more than one box? That methods suck, and they know they suck. And what they do is they try to make it work by telling you that you're not doing it right, and that ain't true. My man Jumbo here, we gonna let Jumbo get in here and say some things.
They for you to do that. Only don't give them nobody else. They for you. What's my? Hey, good morning. Time to vote. Time to vote. I just came from Morgan Avenue. Well, show that.
Oh, you were out there with
We're gonna be able at 95. We're giving them away 500 cups today. All right, make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. Told them about the free TV.
Yep.
All right, you got to vote. If you didn't get your ballot, call 215-28. I can get $1,000 from Ron Bennett. But listen, most important thing is that make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. All right, got to put the ballot in the mail.
Read this flyer?
Nah, it don't make a difference. Yo, listen. And one other thing. Look, put it up. Hold that up. One other thing. I hold it like this. The last thing I'm going to say, then I'm going to the gates. Listen. Fred Zuckerman, General President 2021. That's who we backing. That's who 623 backing. Fred Zuckerman, 623. And the last thing, make sure you vote. Richard Hooker Jr. Richard Hooker Jr. Hashtag 623 Lives Matter. I'm telling my guys now, yo, I need help. I'm going to be in the cafeteria tonight. Later. Yo, see y'all later.
All right, brother.
Yo.
What up? You over there?
Here you go. I got the room. I need a cup. I'm going to be in the cafeteria.
Okay.
I'm going to be in the cafeteria.
Come on, Reggie.
So what happened?
8 o'clock tonight or tomorrow?
8 o'clock tonight.
Make sure you vote, guys. It's real easy to do. Just got to put an X in that box in the upper left-hand corner.
Right.
So enough.
That easy.
I got my ballot, and y'all already know because I called Hooker, for the 623 Lives Matter. I posted mine up. My picture was stolen, but that's all right. We ain't even
see that.
We won't even discuss that. We won't even discuss that. But you know what? I'm gonna put it to you like this. Not everybody. You gotta say this, and I will say this. Not everybody. You cannot classify everybody on everybody's ballot as bad people.
Right.
Because of what happened on Saturday when I showed up at the Union Hall. Brother Dorian from the 623 Strong Matter slate, he came up to me and he apologized to me for that. Because he was just like, that was totally wrong. He felt as though that was totally wrong. He didn't want to be classified in that, he said, if they would have asked to use my picture, that would have been more appropriate and everything. But just to steal my picture and then use it and crop it out and everything, he said that's not no dignity. There's no dignity in that and everything. So he wasn't cool with that, and he said he didn't want to be affiliated with that and everything like that. And I appreciated that. He shook my hand. He said he apologized for that, and I was like, that's a real man. That's a real man. That's real class. And I had more respect for him. I can't think of the real big muscular guy that they got on 623 Strong.
Tiny.
I guess
They said he's he sits on the back.
Yeah. Sergeant Arms. Yeah. He shook my hand too.
Tiny's a good dude, man.
Now those two guys, but Rod Warren, he'd look at me, cut his little eye. He a little scaredy cat. Which I don't care, but I voice my opinion.
And you gotta remember, like you said, not all those people are bad, members, but who are they going to be working under? That's what you got to take into consideration.
Exactly.
Who's running for Secretary Treasurer on that slate?
He wants Kissy's number when you get changed.
Okay.
And my whole thing, and that's what it's all about. It's not about the experience that you have, because those that have the experience, they not doing the job. They're not doing the job because, I've asked Shanahan questions. I've told Shanahan things because I'm going to put it to you like this. I personally don't care. I personally don't care. When they started all this new construction up inside the building and everything, a lot of OSHA regulations were violated. A lot of OSHA regulations. Because I came to Hook, I came to Clarence about it, I went to Jumbo about it before they said it, and I told them about it, and I was just like, listen. I went into the book and said, listen, they're violating the contracts right here, this. They were just like, all right. So they did what they could do. I seen Shanahan. I told him about it. I told Joni about it. We posed a question there in the Union Hall. They sitting there, both of them looking at me like, whatever. But Joni stepped up and she did admit that she took it and she turned it over to Shanahan. So Joni did her job. Shanahan, he was sitting there stuck on stupid. What did he do? He get nervous and drink his water like he always do. I'm nervous, so I'll drink some water. What does he always do? Drink his water.
That's okay.
Jump.
You know, so I'm like, it is what it is. Shanahan does not have it for you. He's not there for the people, you know. Several questions people have asked him oppose it. His answer is, "Oh, I don't know at this time." You know, the question was one of the things. The question was, I remember for the contract, they asked, "Well, what was the questions that you posed for us?" Oh, I don't have that at this time right now. Why don't you have what you asked UPS for us? You're our leadership. As our leadership, when you're negotiating a contract, you're supposed to have everything. You're supposed to come prepared, especially when you come to a union meeting. You're supposed to come prepared. You know. Now to sit there and say, okay, you wanted us to vote yes for a supplemental contract and for a pension and everything like this or that. Come on now. I guarantee you there was a question that was posed at Saturday's union meeting. Part-timer asked, is there a pension for the part-timers? How many of these part-timers know that they do have a pension?
Right.
There's two different pensions. You have a full-time pension, and then you have a part-time pension.
Totally separate. Yep.
It's totally separate. But I guarantee you, 90% of these part-timers do not know it.
Right.
They don't know it.
It's a shame.
You know,
There's a lot they don't know because they're not being educated.
Right.
By our
Exactly,
union
because
leaders.
the
They're not being educated.
transparency has not come,
Right.
and the only way the transparency has come is from 623 Lives Matter.
Thank you.
Because
Yep.
every education has been being told is from 623 Lives Matter, because they've been out there pounding the ground, rain, sleet, snow, cold, whatever the weather is. They're out there telling the members and educating the members to make sure that they know what's going on. And that's the thing. This is the leadership right here. This is my leadership. Because, I know in any type of weather, they there for me. They fighting the battles for me. When I've had a problem or whatever, I say, I can sit there and I've called, Hook's been on vacation. Yo, Hook, I got a question for you. Yo, this is what you do right here. Go here or go see this person, do this. All right. Or my son has had an issue or whatever. You know, he's called it. He'll call Hook or he'll call Clarence or whatever. They'll take care of the issue. They take care of
Make sure you say bag.
Clarence Bagney. I'm sorry, Clarence Bagney. I'm sorry, Clarence Bagney. You know. Listen, I ain't got no problem with you, Clarence Smart. Ain't no problem, no beef. You know, Jumbo stood up for you like you're supposed to, because 623 Lives Matter. We stand up for everybody.
Yeah, whether you with us,
everybody,
vote for us or not.
Exactly.
Has nothing to do with you voting for us, man. We fighting for everybody. Man.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. Because what happened? Saturday proved it. That Saturday was a proof. That was the nail in the coffin right there. What happened when Jumbo sat there and said, "Clarence Smart, you're a good dude, and you fight for your people. I still support you," and everything like that. What happened with them between him and Joni? That it shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. That was just disrespectful.
Man, I'm still stuck on this last paragraph of this thing, man. This is crazy.
No, not the last paragraph, the whole flyer.
Yeah, but
man.
this is. I can't wait to go out there today. I hope they out there today. I do.
No, but look at it. You know their experience. Bill Kamak, what experience does he have? He just got elected because he was a supervisor. I'm sorry.
No.
Should I have not put that out there? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hey, it's all right, man. It's transparency.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm just saying. You know.
Like you said before, you can have all the experience in the world, but what has the experience done for us? Honestly, what's it done?
That's what Ron Kerry said when he was running against the old guard. He asked him, "What has their experience done for us? What has it done?" They put on here about these contracts. The last two, the membership voted no on.
Right.
So that lets you know right there that you just don't care. You just don't care. And then you talk about you stand and fight.
You sure you don't care when you go to the members and say, if you don't vote on this contract, then they're going to take this away. That shows you don't have, if you don't have no confidence in yourself, why should anybody vote for you and have confidence in you? If you can't be confident enough to say, if y'all vote this down, I can go back and get something better. Because basically what you're saying is, I can't go back and get nothing better. So if you have no confidence in yourself, why should we?
See,
Exactly.
When they put this bailout on you when you need them the most, they shouldn't have put that on there.
Yo, what Clarence, I'm gonna piggyback what Clarence just said. If anybody knows about what, especially with voting on contracts, negotiations, you've got 3 times to go back to the table. You get 3 opportunities to go back to the table to negotiate. I'm telling you this because I used to be a union president. So you get 3 opportunities to go back to the table to negotiate your contract. If you don't like what what they're posing on your contract, you got 3 times to negotiate. So, so sit there and say, if you guys don't vote yes, if you don't take this or that, then we're not going to they're not going to give us anything, our supplement, and they're going to take money from our pension. That was a bunch of bull crap. That was a bunch of smoke that he was blowing up, trying to blow up everybody's behind to scare everybody and everything like that. What was it? 804, 840?
Well, Western PA.
The Western PA.
They had the same language.
Same language.
And they voted
They needed more money too.
Exactly.
And they voted it down twice.
Exactly.
He came and tell us if it's a $6 million deficit.
Right. It's a lot of issues with this whole thing, man. I just hope people vote because you see what they did with this contract. I was reading this article over the past couple of days, and it talked about why these guys, this guy Juan Campos from 705, was talking about why he's running for the office in the international. And one of the main things was because they took our vote away. And I want you guys to be reminded of this. When the contract was voted down, our e-board, see, they didn't put this up here. They didn't put this up here on their flyer today. They didn't put up that they, number one, they recommended a yes vote for a contract that we didn't want, and they didn't put on the flyer that they were in agreement with how the contract was handled when they implemented the vote against the membership. They didn't put that up there because they want you to forget that. They want you to forget that they're afraid of Hoffa. They want you to forget that they're afraid of the company. They want you to continue to forget those things. And you guys got to remember that when you get your ballot, because guess what? Next year, they start putting the things together for the international. And everybody was mad about this Constitution. So what are you guys going to do about it? Because these guys are not going to fight for you. They already proved that. They are not going to fight for you, your family. They care nothing about neither one of them. So what are you going to do? Because if these guys stay in office, guess what's going to happen in 2023? They're going to give you another sellout contract because UPS already knows that they're not going to fight. Because if UPS comes back and say, like they did in this contract, okay, guys, we know you voted no. We're going to go back to the table. It was our own people that sold us out. So you guys can keep voting for sellouts if you want to. Their main experience is selling you out. That's their experience. So you guys got to make a decision. The ballots are out. You got to vote. It's time out for talking. It's time for voting. I don't want to be when November 4th come around and these guys get back in there.
Pop a little bit of the bubbly.
It cannot happen. If it happens, I'm telling you, you get what you vote for. You already see what you got. You already see it.
Hey, Hook, I have a question for you though. When we do the tallying of the votes, is it just going to be the slates, or can members show up?
Yeah, members can show up.
There we go.
I'm gonna sit there and say this, because
you might want to call on that. I know in 2013 they said we had to be invited or something like that
No,
to
y'all can
actually
come.
witness.
No, you can come.
Because I was going to bring Mom.
Yeah,
I
you can
know.
come.
I know. I said this to Hook,
Long as you
and I
remember,
said
you
this
can.
to Clarence Bagby.
Yeah.
I want to make sure Clarence Bagby. I said this to.
Bagby.
I am a union member.
So we got
Your
that part.
union is only as strong as its membership.
Right.
All right. And the leadership that we have, it shows how strong it is, because we got some weak members.
Weak leaders, yeah.
And we got weak leaders. So that shows that leadership that you guys have put in there right now. So now it's time to make that change. Stand up. Stand up. Change is coming. Change is coming.
You know what the funny thing is, Reggie? They put out there about experience, right? So they put out there about experience. Your first flyer that you hand out is a picture and a bio. So my whole thing is, you have all this experience. Everybody should know who you are. Everybody should know who you are, but people are walking past them at the gates not even knowing who they are, not even knowing that they pay their salaries. Because I bet you if you brought that to people's attention, they would talk to them a little bit more. Because if I know I'm paying your salary, I want to know what's going on.
But if you talk about experience, 3 of the members on their slate have been BAs for less than a year.
You sitting there saying paying the salaries and
You talking about a matter of months.
Talking to people. I've gone to the union hall and I drop my dues off and make sure my stuff is squared away or whatever. Pay up on my dues ahead.
Smart.
And I come out. Bill Morris is standing out there smoking a cigarette, and I come in my parking lot to get in my
I'll
car.
say 2 words there.
Do you think he even speaks to me?
Never.
I say, "How you doing?"
Well,
He turns, drops his head or whatever. He don't even speak to me.
Well, how about this one? I'll go even a step further. I've heard him call a member a name as of this last meeting, and I can't even say the name on the air. I was sitting there speaking to one of my friends, and he came over, handed him something to give to the member that wasn't there, and he called him a name. So my whole thing is, you're calling members names. It's how you think about us. Honestly, you're retiring, fine, but come on, you can't be doing that at all. And the person is my friend that you're talking about. And the name that you called this person basically affects me too, because I'm a big guy. So we could go where that's going. So it's like, you got to watch what you say around people, because it's going to affect them in a certain way too. And you got to understand that when you're held at a higher standard of everybody, you got to watch how you talk to people.
Exactly.
Pull them away privately and have that private conversation with that person. And if you do that there, I didn't hear it, but you did it where I can hear it. So that bothered me to no end. I didn't say anything because he doesn't matter anymore. Mm-hmm. He matters now because he's up there. But then again, when you ask him a question, he's worse than Shanahan.
Yeah. But another thing I'm going to piggyback with Hook and I, we were sitting there talking about the building maintenance and everything. Like I said, Izzy was sitting there talking about, they have a janitor that cuts the hedges out front and everything.
With scissors, they're so small.
And cleans up picks up the trash once a month.
Yeah.
But this is
once
my thing.
a month.
This is my thing.
Oh, goodness.
You got these guys, our elected officials, in that building every day. You telling me it's really that hard for them to take 5 minutes? 5 minutes. You telling me for 5 minutes you can't go get a trash bag and come out front and just pick up right there in that little brick area and pick up that little bit of trash?
They can't even take 15 minutes to go see new hires and explain this stuff.
You're right. You're right.
Check this out, though.
But I'm paying my dues.
I want to ask now about the building maintenance thing, like you just said, about cutting the grass and all that. Now it's kind of like a double charge to me. So just to me.
A double charge.
Yeah, it's like a double charge, because if you're getting a salary for doing the building maintenance, why am I paying you separately to cut the hedges or whatever case may be? So if you're getting paid a salary, So are you getting paid a salary and you getting paid on top of doing everything else?
And maybe all included. I don't know. Hey, but listen,
But
we
they
gotta
gotta bring it down
wrap it up
separately.
here a little bit. So,
But see, that's the thing. See, this is a question, but see, this is the thing. A closed mouth doesn't get fed, people.
Absolutely.
And see, if I wouldn't have opened up this can, see, this is the thing. I don't care. I opened up a can of worms about this building maintenance, but this is the thing. Because, like I said,
He's going to replace that
This
one
is-
tile for you, make you happy. That's what's going to happen.
but let's see what next month, when we go to the union meeting next month, let's see what the building fund is going to be about.
Yeah.
Let's see what it's going to be about.
It's going to be an extra $20 for that union fee, for the maintenance fee, because a member was sitting next to me
Oh,
that
fell out the
that
chair.
was maybe a quarter of my size, and the chair collapsed. It broke like in half. And I had jumped up, helped him up. It was an older gentleman as well. Gave him a new chair, make sure he was good. And all Shanahan had to say was, "Sorry that happened."
Yeah, didn't even come down to check on
Didn't talk
nobody up.
But me and
But you.
Tiny ran over to
Yeah.
give him a chair. But seriously, I was like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah.
all right, yo, we're gonna get wrap it up. So, moving forward, guys, what you guys got to close it out? Let you start it off.
You know what? I'm looking forward to next month, but you know what? I know where our leadership lies, and our leadership lies in 623 Live Matters, because you guys take the time to invest in everybody.
Absolutely.
You don't single.
That's
You're
a
not
good word.
single.
Invest in people.
You invest in everybody.
Right.
Because you're going to invest in us by voting. I mean, we have to invest in everybody.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
Hughes, what you got, man?
Real quick, and then I got to run to work, so I'm not late, and then I'll
Right.
try something or some nonsense. Listen, guys, for far too long, we've allowed this cancer to take root and spread. Okay? Enough's enough, man. It's time for us to take a stand. We got to fight against this. This is nonsense. Come on, guys. Stand up. 623 lives matter, all right? 623 lives matter. Hook said earlier in a couple of the other, it was a little while ago, maybe a few months ago, you said, look, man, they're going to find a fault in everything.
Yep.
We can come up with the cure for cancer.
Yep.
We can come up with the cure
Yes.
for cancer,
Yep.
and they'll still find, guess what, guys? We found the cure for cancer. 623 lives matter.
Hughes, I got
All right?
you an offering for that.
Look. Adds a whole new level of meaning to these wristbands, all right? Make sure you guys vote. It's important.
Yeah.
All you need is that X in the box of the upper left-hand corner of that ballot.
First column.
Don't
Firstly.
be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's anonymous. It's anonymous. Nobody's going to know how you voted.
Somebody drop their keys.
Vote for us, okay? Yeah, they're mine.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you. I'm out. I
appreciate
got to
you,
go.
man.
Thank you, guys.
All right,
I
thank you.
appreciate everything you guys do.
You
Thank
too,
you.
brother. You
Thanks.
too.
Thanks.
All right, Bags, what you got, man?
Well, that was pretty good for my brother Hughes there.
Careful going in,
So I'm gonna close with saying we had the incumbents been in office for way too long, and they forget where they came from. When you forget where you come from, then you have no direction of where you're going. So you cannot protect the people if you don't respect the people. And the way that you conduct yourself is not respect. When somebody comes to the hall, can't get in, can't get a phone call answered, and that to me is not respect. If somebody has a question and you choose not to answer it, that's not respect. You want people to come down to the hall, you want people to come to the meetings, give them a reason to come. Right. And when they did come for the bylaw amendment, they came down there because they wanted change. And instead of you embracing the change, you condemn the change. So let's embrace change now. Change the leadership. Get new people in there who are going to back you. And Mr. Esselin, we definitely appreciate it.
I like what he says.
We definitely appreciate it.
And like Eric just said, he said 623 Lives Matter is a slate that will have your back behind your back.
That's profound right there. That's
Exactly.
good.
We appreciate that.
That's
too,
real
brother.
good.
But what I'm gonna say is this: the ballots are out. It's time to vote. Everything is nice to see all the posts and the pictures that we're sending, the messages, and I agree. It feels good. It feels a lot different than it did 3 years ago. But you got to put it on paper. That has to translate on paper, because it would be a shame to do all this work over the last few years, then just to come up short again. And so I'm hoping that you guys vote. I believe that you will, and even though in the back of my mind I still think about those 37 votes, I can say with supreme confidence that we're going to win this election. I believe we will. I think it's already over. People just have to make sure they vote. And in closing, I got to say this: a union cannot be for and by the people if it's not represented for and by the people. Everybody has to be involved in this, because the ultimate reality is we gotta beat this company. We can say all this and say all that. If UPS continues to do what they want to do, they're going to break the union, and we can't have that. The first line of defense to make sure that doesn't happen is to get good, sound, proactive, productive leadership. Something that we don't have right now. We will have it come November the 4th. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And we thank you for all you guys' support. We're going to get out of here. See you guys next week. Don't forget, 623 Lives Matter. First column, top left, Richard Hooker, 623 Lives Matter. If you don't have your ballot, call 215-289-0580. We love you guys, and we thank you so much for placing that responsibility on us to make sure that we win this election. All right? Thank you, guys. Yeah. Hope I get this.